Welcome back, everyone. I'm Maya,
This Shane.
and this is Tap In Nap. And today we are here with Bunmi. So, Bunmi, tell us about you. What do you do in the city?
Man, Maya, nice to meet you, and Shane, thanks for having me on here. What do I not do? In Indianapolis, it's a open canvas where you can do whatever you want. So for my day job, I work at a tech company called Salesforce, downtown Indianapolis. So the tallest tower in Indiana. That's where I'll be hanging out at. Outside of Salesforce, I'm the president and founder of Indie Black Millennials. It's a Black professional organization here in Indianapolis where we bring Black professions together. I'm from Nigeria, so I'm very passionate about bringing our culture to Indianapolis. So I
Oh,
do
that's right.
a lot of Afrobeat event.
Mm.
And so I do like Afrobeat day party. I've got Afro Ball indie later this year, so I'll talk a little bit about that later. So also in the community, I'm very involved. I'm a big brother, big sister. So I got a little for about 5 years or so now. I actually just joined the board of Believe High School. Just want to get up done with the technology part of the school. So yeah, that's a little bit about myself. So hopefully that answered your question.
It did. It definitely did. It
Got a
definitely.
lot going on.
Yes.
As you should.
Definitely keep me busy.
So, I want to talk about your name.
Okay.
Yes. So, your name is Bunmi. What is your last name?
So okay, let me go back to my first name first. So it's Bumi, but it's actually short for Oluwa Bumi. When I came to America, I saw that a lot of Americans are very lazy to say my full name.
Oh.
So I had to legally change my name to Bumi because it was too long. So Oluwa means God, and Bumi means like bless. So it's like God bless. So I just go by Bumi, which my parents actually call me Bumi, and my family call me Bumi. So Oluwa Bumi means God bless. So
You actually changed your name?
legally
Legally.
changed my name to Bumi on the paper. But I came here to America as Oluwa Bumi. So my last name is Akintomide. So in Nigeria culture, your name has a meaning. Like based on your name, it tells you where you're from, what language you actually speak. So you can, which was a when I came to America, was the first. I was very shocked. Everybody's last name was Mr. Brown, Mr. Rice. I'm like, what the hell is
Those are slave names.
Most definitely.
like where does Mr. Rice came from? What does that even mean? So with my last name, it actually, in our culture, so like your last name, it has a meaning. So Akim means like, so we're the warriors. So like Akim Tomide, it's like the power, the wealth comes to me. So Tomide means come to me. So that's my name.
That is one thing that I just love about like Nigerian names or Nigerian names. Like it's always that deep meaning to it. Yeah,
Yeah.
I love it. I love it.
And Shane don't mean nothing. I don't think.
Listen.
I was on Urban Dictionary and I was like, well, I kind of like what I see. But I don't know. There's another nigga named Shane who put that on
Hey,
there.
First off, that's
if
the
I were
wrong
you,
place to go.
if I were you, I would go to Urban Dictionary and actually change the meaning. Make something up. Like nobody's gonna check it to make sure.
Oh,
it's
yeah.
legit.
That's well, hey, I liked what it was.
Oh,
I'd have put the same thing.
I like that. I like that.
But that's very important to know like where you come from and everything. So with so much going on, first let's start with the Black millennials, then we'll go into everything else that you had said because you have a lot on your plate.
I tend to believe that, but I think Indianapolis, like I said earlier, it's an open canvas, right? There's a lot you can do, and by the way, I love traveling, so I enjoy getting out of here. As much as I love Indianapolis, I also like getting out of here too. So, but yeah, I enjoy everything about Indy. So I know you probably want to ask about Indy Black Millennials. So starting with that, I think since I work at a tech company, one thing that I noticed, I've been there for a little over 7 years now. When I joined, there was not really a lot of people that looked like me, right? So it was like, you know, your Indiana representation, right? So it's like, so I'm like, what can I do about this, right? So, and then I noticed in Indianapolis, there's not really an organized organization that brings Black professions together like consistently. Like people would do something and then stop after like 2 months, right? So I'm like, there's a gap here. So we need to find a place where we can bring everybody together. Because if you go to a bar downtown Indianapolis, like you're probably gonna be the only black person there in that bar unless you came with the crowd, right? So I'm like, I need a spot, which obviously we can't get a spot. So we need an event or an organization that actually consistently bring black professionals together. And that will allow us to connect them to jobs, to like board opportunities, just hang out. Cause I mean, black people are dope. Like we need to like find a spot where we can all hang out together. So that's how Indie Black Millennials kind of came to like fruition. And and since then we've been doing quarterly events and doing like happy hours. We just launched our membership earlier this year, where as a paid member you get a lot of perks, and we had members game night for the first time, and people had a blast. Like they didn't want to go home. I'm like, we gotta go
We
home.
gotta go. We gotta go.
But
Definitely.
yeah, so
And how long you say you've been doing this?
so we started in 2018. So we were doing event consistently, and then obviously pandemic happened, which I feel like everything kind of like shut down. So we had to pivot to virtual. If you're like me, like I hate virtual event. Like it is boring. I'm just gonna turn on my camera. It's not the same vibe. But we've been around for since 2018. Our last event was a Black History Month in February of whenever pandemic happened. It feels like forever ago. At Michael Soul Kitchen, so trying to support like black businesses and all that. And it was a beautiful event. And then like what, a month later in March, and everything shut down. So but yeah, so that's what we do. But now we're back to in person now, doing quarterly networking events and happy hours and just bringing people together.
Okay. So next, I want to know about the Afro Beats Ball.
Okay.
Definitely. Please give me all the details about it.
Yeah, that's definitely something I'm gonna have to pull up too.
Yes.
So a year ago, everybody, a lot of radios, they played two African music like over and over again. I'm
Most
like, we have a lot of dope songs out there. We have a lot of great artists. Stop playing the same song. Like I don't listen to radio like that a lot, but every time I just switch to the radio, I hear the same song over and over again.
It don't matter what genre that you on. There's 6 songs that rotate the radio.
Most definitely.
Well, yeah. So I'm like, okay, what can we do? So I'm like, okay. So I saw the gap again. I'm like, okay, we need to educate the city of Indianapolis as a place to like the DJs need to update their playlist. Like when I go out of town, when I go to Dallas, Atlanta, or DC, like I don't have to tell the DJ like play this song. They just automatically play it. I have to tip, like I have to pay $20. Like, hey, can you please play this song? Like, and then when the DJ plays their song and the crowd goes crazy, I'm like, oh, that's actually
Let me get
nice.
that 20 back, bro.
Right.
So
You
like,
owe
I
me
did the
20,
work.
bro.
100%. So I'm like, okay, what's a way we can bring the African culture right to Indianapolis? Like, how can we educate people about it? How can we make sure that when you go to a cookout, right, you see that people doing the dance, like, because our music, you have to dance to it.
Most definitely.
It's not it's not a song you just. I mean, we have the vibe chill songs, but also when any song plays,
I was gonna say, wait,
My
you have
shoulders
you
is
have
working.
vibe chill songs? I have never heard of vibe chill songs.
like it's a workout. You're
Mhm.
gonna be sweating after a while. So we just like very happy people. So I'm like, okay, what's a good way to bring that here? So Afro Ball Indie, October 13 to 16. We're gonna have fashion show. We're gonna have Taste of Africa. So you get to try different food from
Fire.
different part of the continent. So Nigerian food, Ghanaian food, like South African food, like all over the continent, so you can see what it is.
I'm
Also,
happy
we
that
have.
you inadvertently said that. I'm sorry to interrupt
No,
you.
you're good.
Because it just burns my soul to hear people be like, Africa, the country, Africa, the country.
no.
No, it's a
It's the-
continent. It
You-
is a continent. Thank you.
You'll be surprised how many people says that.
That's why they don't claim black African Americans.
Yeah. So I mean, we obviously we love African Americans, all of that, but also and I'll get to our ultimate goal. So with Afro Ball, so we gotta have that. Also the education part. So because when I came to America, right, the American education system in like K to 12, it was very easy. I'm like, why is it so easy? Like, because when I was back home, like I was going to school from like 8 a.m. to like 6 p.m. Like I have like so we were in school for all day. We have like 12 classes a day. So when I came here, what I was learning in America when I was in 10th grade, I already learned in like middle school, like, very early. When I was in 12th grade, I already learned those stuff like when I was younger. So it wasn't challenging at all, right? So, but the problem back home is we don't have the infrastructure, like the
Right.
technology,
Right.
right? To like do all of this stuff. So there's a big gap between the education here and there. So so as part of Afro Ball, we're also gonna have a panel on education, like how do we bridge the gap. Also art, because African. I mean, a lot. If you go to a museum right now, a lot of the stuff you see in the museum is probably stolen from Africa, right?
Most
So
definitely.
so we're trying to like, I mean, Wakanda, that movie, which I love Wakanda because it kind of exposed Africa in a different view, even though Wakanda is a very fictional place. Because I'm sure some people still think Wakanda is actually a real place.
Can you say that one more time?
It is not real. It's a movie.
Thank you.
I think they shot that in Atlanta, by the way.
Dropping gems.
I
Chocolate City.
so but that movie actually exposed a lot of like the African the technology. I mean, we don't have those, but the heart, right? So I want to, the goal of Afro Ball is to actually show people the hearts and all that, just different stuff that you see in the museum, understand more to it. So it's not just a picture, like what is the picture telling you. So that's what Afro Ball is all about. On July 2nd, I'm not sure when this is gonna air, but on July 2nd, we're gonna have Afrobeat at the park, which is downtown at Phoenix Theater. Outside, we have three DJs. Three of my favorite top DJs in Indianapolis is gonna be there playing music outside. Like we're shutting down outside downtown. In the middle of the downtown. Shout out to Indiana weather. I checked it; it was not gonna rain that day. So hopefully we keep it that way because it's really unpredictable in Indiana weather.
Now this is
Yeah.
dropping in September, but you said July.
Yeah, so July 2nd. Yeah,
Okay.
that's the Afro Beat at the park, which Afro Beat is our genre of music.
Yes.
So we're just gonna be at the park for like 4 hours, just jamming to like the top African music. So hey, all the radio DJs come out there and update your playlist. So you're not playing the same two songs over
Most
and over again.
definitely. Yes.
So that's what we have going on with Afro Ball. Yeah, just to bring you up to speed.
That is
Okay.
so cool.
Is this going to be a kind of like you have the quarterlies with the Black millennials? Is this going to be something that is a continuous?
Oh yeah. I'm the kind of person that I don't want to do something one time and then stop doing it. 'Cause
Right.
what's the point?
Yeah.
So it's gonna be yearly. So we're gonna
Okay,
do that for
so
ball every year. And then one of our vision is to actually take people from Indianapolis back to Africa, right? So we're gonna do like a December trip where we get to go to like 4 countries or 5 countries in Africa. So you get to try the food. Actually, go there. We're gonna volunteer because I like giving back to the to the
Bruh.
community and all
Take
that.
me.
You are taking-
Take me.
Bruh, 4 years ago, 5 years ago, I wanted to do a vacation package
Yeah.
with everybody. This is when people really was, hey, I'm helping. Look, homeless people. Hey, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So I wanted to basically make a package where you pay for a week, 2 weeks, whatever it ends up being, and 40 to 50% of the time you're giving back to a village, and then the other remaining of the time
Having
you
fun.
experience Africa.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a great idea.
So that's our goal is because I don't want to just do one country, but just actually go to different countries and actually get to learn more. Because everybody thinks Africa is this dirty place.
Yeah.
Don't get me wrong. America, Indianapolis is dirty too.
Yeah, I was gonna say,
It-
look outside.
very,
That's
very.
third world out there.
Right.
Like there was I saw something online recently that shows you a picture and it had you guess, is this Africa or is this America? The whole picture was America. Everybody was like, "Oh yeah, that's Africa." I'm like, "No." So we have the nice cars there too. So we want to show people the good places. Also show them the place that needs help too.
Right.
And we can maybe go there, build a school or build a hospital or stuff like
Yeah.
that. Give it to the community there, and then have a great time. So that's the overall goal. So we'll see how the Afro Ball goes this year. And then maybe next year we can do our first trip. Maybe take a small group of maybe 10 people. Where everything is gonna be paid for. Just one is all expense paid. You don't have to worry about. You pay one fee, you get flight, hotel, food, whatever we go to.
Shit, I'm free in December next
Right.
year.
Keep me updated because I would love to go.
Yeah, so that's our ultimate goal because we could come in and show you those stuff, but it's better you see it by yourself.
And especially,
Firsthand.
if anybody's into doing like their ancestry thing, I know my dad did it for us. And so okay, so there's a large percentage of Nigerian in us, and then
Everybody's Nigerian.
right,
by the way.
everybody.
Every
On God.
every black people are Nigerian.
And then we have the next one was I can never say it right. Ghana.
Ghana.
Yes, yes.
Yeah.
So that was that. So I was like, I really want to go and like experience and see, all these different countries.
No, and I'm glad you brought that up because I actually spoke to a lot of people that did their DNA test, right? Because okay, now you found out you're from this part of different country. Wouldn't it be cool to actually go
Go
there?
there,
Mhm.
exactly.
Actually experience the culture and and you see kids running around just playing around. Like, life is so simple. Those kids might not have money, but they are so happy. See everybody that they have a lot, but they make the best. So when you come back to America, you're actually gonna appreciate America better because you see people with the little, but they are so happy. But in America, people are chasing the nest, big car, big house,
Yeah.
all of that. But you go to other part of the world, and people are just happy with simple stuff, right?
Mhm.
So, yeah.
Okay. What's your favorite place in Africa? Like, what's your favorite location?
Okay, so I'm the worst African. Let me tell you why. Um, I came to America 17 years ago, and I'm actually going back to Nigeria for the first time in 17 years, which I'm so embarrassed about it. But, you have to mentally be ready for that, So
Yeah.
I'm going back there this year, actually in 2 weeks. Well, I don't know when this is going to air, but I'm going back there. So my favorite place is going to be Nigeria because I'm from there. So I'm very
That was a
biased.
trick question. You got
Yeah,
it. Good
yeah.
for
So
you.
I'm not gonna say Ghana because listen, I've never been there.
Mhm.
I've seen pictures, but I would love to. So next year, um, I want to take people there with me.
Yeah.
I have a friend that she goes there a lot. She's actually African American. She's not even from. I mean, she wasn't born there, but she's so connected. Like she goes like 3 or 4 times a year.
Oh wow.
Yeah. So I'm like, she got a traveling company, which I'm gonna partner with her on, and then the goal is to take people down there. So she knows all. I mean, she gonna show me my country. Can you imagine? Which I love. So that's the goal to go back there. I want to experience different culture back in Africa and all that. So, but yeah, to answer your question, Nigeria. Well, that's the camera. Nigeria.
Nigeria.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's
Okay. When it comes to getting here,
Okay.
what? How was that struggle?
Oh my God. Coming to America was the
A movie? No, I'm just
it
kidding.
was like I know. Hey, shout out to Eddie Murphy. Like coming here, I think so. It's like the worst decision for an African to come here, and I'll explain why. Because the culture is completely different, and if you come here when you're younger, it's like the worst. So I went to an high school, which it's a middle school now, Northwest High School.
Oh,
On the
you
north,
went to Northwest?
yeah, on the Northwest side, for like a couple years. So like it was so hard to like fit in, because everybody went to middle school together, so they already got their friends already.
Mm.
And I'm this guy here, my Hassan, it was very thick. Like people were like, what are you saying? Like all that. So like I was getting picked on a lot, and guess what? I'm getting picked up by African Americans. I'm like, we look alike.
That's crazy.
So, and it was just like a very terrible experience for me. Like I was so upset about it. I was like getting mad. Like, why did I even come here? Like, I thought like African Americans would actually be the one to accept me, right? Because we have the same skin
We
color.
don't even accept each other, bro.
Mhm.
So-
That's very true.
So it was very traumatic for me. But after I went to college, I went to IUPUI. So shout out to IUPUI. I went there. Everything changed. So I actually got to meet African Americans with sense. So it
Gotta
was
get
like,
to college for that. No.
I swear, that's what it feels
Or
like.
senior year.
No. And then like meeting those people, right, and all that, it kind of changed my whole perspective about all the African Americans. So like all of those kids though in high school when I was there, they were just crying for help. They had a lot of issues at their home, so like they come to school to take it out on somebody. So maybe schools probably need to do more therapy, like offer help to these kids. Because the reason why they're picking on me is because I'm the next. I mean, I'm available, right?
Right.
So
Bottom of the food chain.
Yeah.
100%. So like looking back now, I wish that didn't happen, but I think that made me who I am today. I'm very connected with African American community. Like I love my African queens and all that. Like yeah. So that was my experience coming to America, and then as you get older and all that, it's just it's a lot better, and you have more friends and all that. So, but coming as a kid, no friends, going to school with no friends, like I have to go to the lunch cafeteria early so I can go eat my food and get out because everybody has their friends sitting together.
On the
Like I'll be
table.
the outcast on the table. My senior year though was a lot better because now I got to make some friends. I made some friends,
Mm,
so it was a lot easier. But the first like I came in sophomore second semester, it was hell. Like it was not fun at
Mm-hmm.
all. So that was my experience. But and I'm sure a lot of like African kids can relate to that. So I think what I'll say is, whenever you're anybody watching this or whenever Africans come to America, just make it easy for them,
Yeah.
because we're dope people. We just like to have fun, have a good time. We might invite you over, all of that. So that's the goal. So don't we're not an outcast. We're all the same, So that would be my
Definitely.
message to everybody else.
You just jumped right to it because that was something I was going to ask you later. But thank you. Would you say that your experience with not having as many friends when you came here inspired you to be a big brother from the Big Brother Big Sister organization?
Yeah, 100%. Because when I heard about the organization, about what their mission and what they're trying to do, so like I said, a lot of this like kids are probably acting out because of like what's going on at home, and then a lot of the stuff that's happening at home is out of their control, right? So they go to school and act up, right? So when I heard about Big Brother Big Sister, I'm like, okay, I need to be a big. I need to influence one kid, because that one kid can go influence another kid and all of that. So and that's one of my biggest reason why I actually become a big. And I've been doing that for 5 years now. And my little it gets in trouble in school, but I feel like over the years it's getting better, right? Because
A
we
lot
actually
of
talk.
growth.
Yeah, so I bring him to my house to kind of show him a different part of life, right? Because at home is the youngest, so he had to compete with his older siblings on the TV, what they're watching. Like, he comes to my house, he can watch whatever he wants. Like we'll do whatever we want. We play video games, we go to the park and all of that. And I just get to influence his life somehow. And I feel like that's needed. Like every kid need a big, every kid need a mentor. Because, and there's a study on this. Like a lot of people that grow up with a mentor in their life, they're more successful because they have that guidance, right? So,
mhm.
and shout out to Big Brother, Big Sister. If you're not a big, please look into it. They have a lot of kids on the waiting list right now looking for a big. So, hey, my plea to everybody, please, if you have time, it's only like a 4 hour requirement per month, which is just a Saturday, just hanging out on a Saturday. Like anybody can do that.
I
So
was gonna ask you what's the requirement
yeah,
for
just
that
4 hours,
process.
4 hours every Saturday. And once you do it, and then after a while, you just get flexible. You can do more, you can do less, and all of that. So it's very, very simple. Like, and then you get to do what you already enjoy doing already. So they did a pretty good job in matching you with a kid that have the same interest as you. So when you sign up, they ask you, what do you like to do? What's your interest? So like, I put sports. I like to play basketball. I like to play football, and they ask the kid and the family the same question. So like if the kid put up sports, so they're gonna match you with somebody that has the same interest as you, so you can go do the same thing you're already gonna do anyway. Now with a kid,
Right.
which is awesome. Like I'm like, hey, because there's a lot of things that I missed out as a kid because I grew up in a different environment. But now I can do it with another kid, and it's just pretty cool because you were the kid. It's whatever,
Right.
right? So, and I think that they did a pretty good job find you the perfect match. Also, they find somebody close to your house, so you're not
Mm,
driving like all over town to go pick the little up. So it's like, even though I moved because I moved downtown now, I was in Claremont, so it was like 5 minutes from my house. But I moved downtown, but we've been together for 5 years. I don't mind doing the drive to go pick him up. So,
yeah.
but they did an amazing job, making sure they find the right person. The interview, it's very intimidating. It's
Yeah,
like
it
a
is.
2 hour interview
Mhm.
to make sure you're not a psycho. Because, I mean, as a kid, you want to make sure you're a trusted adult, right? So they did a pretty good job finding you the right person. So, but yeah, to answer your question, yes. That played into it to make sure I can influence another kid so they can have a different experience in life and all that, and have somebody they can tell and talk to. Because a lot of kids just want to be heard,
Right.
Hmm.
and when you don't give that opportunity to be heard, they take it out on somebody else, and they get in trouble, and then they get a label, and I'm like, oh, that's a bad kid, and then they send them to detention, and
And it just
it just
continues.
continue to go,
Yeah,
and now the kid
spiral.
accepted and say, oh, I'm a bad kid, So now they don't even care anymore because they got the bad boy tag and they think it's cool. But when they get older, and it's gonna affect them for the rest of their lives.
It's
So
only cool for a short amount of time.
Right.
and
Yeah.
then they get in trouble with the law, and then it's over pretty much. I mean, you're
Yeah.
a black boy, you get in trouble with the law, like
Most definitely.
it's
Yeah.
not pretty in America. So
I just want to piggyback off of your experience with Big Brothers Big Sisters.
sure,
It is such a rewarding experience.
100%.
I advocate for them too because I was a little.
Okay. Oh wow, nice.
Beautiful program, beautiful program. Sometimes things happen, but I definitely think that people shouldn't just cut off the program on both sides, whether your little was like the perfect little or was not the perfect
Yep,
little,
yep.
or your big wasn't the perfect big. I definitely advocate for that. So congratulations on like wanting to do that. Like it takes a lot for people to even want to work with kids, and you want to work with kids.
And one thing I would say, like, it's not gonna be rosy. Like, it's not gonna be the best because a kid they don't know you. First of all, it takes time. Like any relationship, even dating or whatever, it takes time to get comfortable around people. As a kid, it takes longer. So just be patient with a kid. Just relax. In the beginning, I was like, man, what am I doing? Like, why am I even here, right? But I talked to somebody and I was like, hey, Bunmi, just keep doing it. You're gonna like be happy you did it. And I'm so happy I stayed in the program and continue to be there. And every time we hang out now, we're vibing, like we're just chilling. We don't even have to do anything crazy anymore. It's just sometimes, and now one time he actually looked up African music and learned the lyrics to African music. So we were in my car and I played a song. He was singing the song lyrics by lyrics. And it's
Impact.
an Afrobeat song. I'm like, bro, what is going on? Like, I don't even know the damn lyrics. Like, he actually knew the lyrics. I'm like, wow. Like, I almost cried that day because I'm like, I'm already making impact
Like,
on this kid's
yes,
life.
yes.
If I was never here, it would never got to that exposure. Because all he does is not really, he doesn't care about that. But now he know more than what his siblings did. A lot of kid in his school now, he has more exposure to other culture, right? So that's what I love about it. If you're a couple, you can have one kid too. So like you can do with your significant other. You don't have to be married. You can be just dating at least maybe a year together, and then you can have one kid and you guys can hang out together or separately. So they're very flexible
Right.
with the way
And just being on the little side of that, I thought that was so wild when they asked me in the interview. So like, do you want just one person? Do you want a couple? And I'm sitting there with my mom like, I think I just want one person.
Yeah, no, I mean, some kid might not like the couple, but I think because everybody's busy, right? Like I'm busy, but guess what? You can take 4 hours out of your month. We have a lot of time. You're probably gonna be at home watching TV anywhere, watching Netflix, but watch Netflix with a kid. Just do whatever you're gonna do. You wanna go shopping? You wanna go to the store? You wanna just go with the kid. Because this kid's just gonna get out of the house. Because it's summertime right now, they're gonna be at home. They probably go out on the street and get in trouble. But if you just take them out of that situation, you might save their life because they
Right.
might go out and get in trouble and hang out with the wrong person and all of that. And one thing I want to say this actually because this generation they got a lot of slangs, a lot of like words I don't understand, and he's actually teaching me like to
That is
so I can be hip,
hilarious.
like whatever that
Two-way
is.
street, man. Being open
So
to
I'm
that.
like,
What's your favorite slang that he's taught you?
what so there was this word so a lot of rappers use it. What is it called? They rap a lot about it, like the hops or whatever that is. I'm like, what the heck is that? He explained it to me. I'm like, oh wow, so let's say opposition, like somebody you want to
the
take out.
Oh, your ops.
Yeah.
The opposition. They just shorten it. Yeah.
I'm like, I'm like the people I hang out with, they don't use those words. So he was explaining it to me because we heard a song lyrics. So I'm like, what the heck is this rapper keeps saying the hops, the hops, the hops? Like, what the heck is the hops? So he actually explained it to me. I'm like, oh, wow, okay. Because I don't know what that is. So, he actually knew a lot about it. He was like, yeah, if somebody mess with you, like, hey, that's a hops, you got to take him out. I'm like, well, don't do that. Yeah. So,
Most of these rappers is ending up in jail because
Or dead.
or dead.
yeah. So, but those kids didn't know a lot than we do. So I'm learning a lot through him from him. And but yeah.
Okay. Yeah. I mean, it seems like you influence wise is just, I don't even want to say overload because I feel like they got negative connotation, but the abundance of it. Where do you feel your influence is most felt? Because you got black business. You got I don't know if you call it peer tutoring, but the
The
big
big brother, yeah,
program,
the mentorship.
and then also the African influence here.
Yeah,
You know,
yeah. I think Indian black millennials is still gonna be number one, just because there's a lot of like black professionals here just sitting down at home with nothing to do. Right? They go to work and then they travel. They get out of here. They go to Chicago because there's more to do there. But in Indianapolis, there's not really nothing going on.
Right.
You can go to the east side and go to a bar, right? And whatever. There's nothing wrong with the east side, but like they also want, because when you go downtown, Mass Ave, Fountain Square, like all of those establishments, they don't see themselves there. We're not represented. There's some couple spot downtown like Michael Soul Kitchen. Shout out to them. I think Living Room Lounge, which it's a different environment.
Hey, listen, I love me some living
But-
room lounge.
But they also want the same. They want to be able to go to all this cocktail bar, right? So I think what we're doing there, I think the overall goal is one day to have our own lounge where you can go whatever you want, and when you get in there, there's gonna be like black dope people in there.
Yeah.
That's the ultimate goal.
Of
So I
course.
think that's where I feel like I'm continuing to make impact. The Afro beat, it's new, right? So I mean, it's like we'll see how it goes, right? The Afro ball, it's new. We'll see what happens. But the Indie Black Millennials, we've been around for 4 years now, and people still continue to want to be part of it.
Right.
So that's why I say, like, I think I can make a lot of impact. My impact is felt there because people were interested. Companies are reaching out and say, "Hey, man, we got these jobs. Like, do you know anybody that are looking for a job? Like, we want to, after the George Floyd murder, like a lot of companies now wants to help black people, which it's about time.
Right.
they only doing it for the image.
Yeah, it's like,
Don't believe
so
it.
you gotta wait till a black man get killed, like in person. You know what I mean? Like live on camera for you
Mhm.
guys to actually want to do something. But
And
hey,
this is crazy because he's not the first one.
it's not. But like I feel like the way the whole country reacted to it,
Yeah, yeah,
all
yeah.
the riots and all that, it worked.
Mhm.
So now we have companies reaching out and say, okay, how can I be involved? How can I hire power? Which I love. I think it's great. But you have to actually saying it. It's one thing. Actually following up and say, okay, show me your leadership team. Like, okay, how many people on your leadership team? How many of them are black? My company, I was a manager there. I enjoy being a manager, but at the end of the day, like being a manager is another extra layer of like stress. So
Mhm.
I'm cool, right? So I switched my role, but I want to see the C level. How many black people do you have in your C level, right? Don't tell me there's nobody yet that qualify for that job, because that's BS. Because a lot of these people just hire their friends. They find somebody that like in their network, in their little group, and then they hire them. And then you see like a candidate that qualified, that's black, but they don't get the job because somebody they know. So what we can do about that is we can create our own networks. So now somebody like me or somebody else that's in these companies that get on the leadership level, how can we get our people in there? So I think that's what we can do about it, and that's why I feel like in the Black millennials we can make that impact, right? And I can make more impact that way, right? So
Well, thank you so much, Boomy.
hey, thanks for having me.
We truly appreciate you coming through.
Hey, thanks for having me. Even though like Shane messed up the email.
Oh God, I never saw it. I'm just sitting there like, did nobody get back to me? Like,
I'm weak.
once I got something through IG, I was like, well, I guess we just talking on here then.
Hey, man. Sometimes if it's meant to be, it's meant to be.
It's meant to be.
I'm happy to be here. This is awesome, and whatever you guys are doing, this is great. Cannot wait to see who else you guys have on there.
Yes,
So this is awesome.
thank you. Thank
Oh, yeah,
you.
more positive, influential people like yourself.
Yes.
I'm trying my
You
best.
just dropped gems all through this interview. I appreciate it.
Hey, I'm learning as we speak too.
Yes.
I think like the more you talk about it, the more you learn also. So there's power in just talking.
You just
right?
got to be a
So,
lifelong learner.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
and I hope whoever's watching, you can be a big.
Mhm.
And just change your kid's life. It's not that hard. Anybody
Right.
can do it. If I can do it, my calendar is crazy.
Mhm.
If I can do it, you can do it.
Absolutely.
So
Where can we find you?
so actually I'm gonna plug in my Indian Black Millennials. So we are on IG, Indian Black Millennials, one word. We're on Facebook, on LinkedIn. We're not on TikTok yet because
Awesome.
maybe one day. So follow us on there. We can become a member of Indian Black Millennials as well. Just members.indianblackmillennials.com. There's a lot of benefit. been a member. We're building it out. This is our first year trying it out, so see how it is. Or you can sign up for our newsletter on our website, indieblackmillennials.com. But yeah, just find there. You see me there. You know, once you become a member, you have access to me anytime you want. So so I'll say just follow us on the social media on that, and I'll be on there. So my personal stuff is like more like, you know, friends or whatever, but like
Mhm.
I promote my business. So that's what I want to
That's
promote.
all that matters.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Well, thank you all for watching. Remember to like, comment, and subscribe. I'm Maya,
This Shane.
and this is Tap In Nap.
Yeah.
That was awesome.
Right on, brother. I'm
Did
so
I-
glad you showed. I'm glad we could make this
Yes.
work, man.
Hey, you guys.